Hello, well today I'm doing some boot repairing and it's for my older son, and he has had these boots for about 6 years or so. He does walk quite a lot and they've split down the sides. He has quite large feet actually, so it's not that easy getting boots of the right size for him. But anyway, he is 6'6", so he's a big chap. Anyway, there's a split on the boot here and I want to do something about that. Now, few options really on this one. I could just use a curved needle like one of these, probably just see that there on camera hopefully, and could sew it from the outside. That wouldn't be a bad option. I'm going to probably have a go at trying one of my machines on it and see if I can do something with a machine on this, try and get in there. It's obviously quite confined inside the boot to get the part of the machine in, but we'll see how it goes. So first off, what I'm doing, I'm just going along about 1/4 of an inch off the edge, and I'm putting a line with my silver leather marking pen. These pens are very good if you want to mark leather. They actually give like a little silver ink, which shows up quite well, and it's good if you've got a blemish on a bit of leather, you can just circle it and you'll see it as you're cutting to avoid it, or if you're wanting to do something to a cut edge, they actually show up quite well and they sort of rub off. You probably always best to test them, but they seem quite good. So anyway, I am just marking the cloth, so I've got a 1/4 inch seam there, and I'll tuck that under, but I'll know that it's properly under if I can't see any of the silver. And what I did also do with this, I checked with my son, there's plenty of width in the boot, so losing a 1/4 of an inch isn't a problem, which is good news. So I will carry on. One could sew this using curved needles like this one here, but I may do a little bit of tacking with that, but actually I'm going to try gluing it I think initially, and then I'll see if I can sew it on a post machine or one of my other machines. So I'm just going to start off with some ordinary leather glue here. It's a bit like PVA glue, and just see if I can tack glue these together. So I'll apply it fairly generously. This would just be good because it will hold it for the machining stage if I can get it to actually bite. And it's a bit cold and wet today, so I've just lit a nice fire. I said to my son, what sort of repair do you want? Do you want a strong repair, or do you want a slightly sort of more presentable repair, which may not be so strong? And he said, oh no, I want it just strong, just want it to work basically. So it's always quite nice to know, but sometimes there's a compromise judgment to be made. Right, I will try and hold that while the glue takes. It's normally quite good, this glue, at taking fairly quickly, and that will at least get it roughly into position. So what I've got here is my post wheel sewing machine, and it's a sewing machine that has this post, and it's very good for shoemaking and things like that. Little wheel drive there, and the needle goes up and down just on this little tiny platform. And what it means is you can get things like the bottom of bags or shoes around this, and you can get into sewing places that you wouldn't otherwise normally get with a conventional flatbed or cylinder arm machine. So it's called a post machine, and that's what I'm going to try and see if I can get the shoe around it sufficiently. I'm not certain if I will or not, but we'll soon find out. Actually, yeah, I think that probably will work. I'm going to use a fairly thick thread on this repair and hope that it sort of holds. I can get a fair way, I think, down that foot, but probably not all. I'm going to go a little bit further down. Okay, well, I'll get one line of stitches in. At least that will then be holding it. It's quite a slow running machine, this one. It's got a reverse as well, so I've got a lever here where I can pop it into reverse. Do a couple of back stitches as I go along. It's being powered by a servo motor, so it's quite nice and quiet, which is good. And there's quite good control on it as well, which is nice. So I'll do a bit more back stitching there. About 4 back stitches, and that will hold that quite nicely. So that's my first lot of stitching in. I'll bring the camera in a bit closer for the next lot, and you can see what I'm doing a bit closer in, hopefully. I can't really get this post sufficiently down the boot, but I still can get it down, I think, enough to make it reasonably okay. So I'm just going to put in another row of stitches now. Pop that into reverse. Go back on myself. Make those stitches hold. Once you've got one lot of stitches in, it's obviously easier with the second lot, because you know it's got something holding it. So it's not going to suddenly go and sort of go back on itself. I'll put another reverse in. And if that stitching breaks, it's got the extra added benefit of the additional layer. So I'm partly doing this just for sheer strength. And we can carry on a little way along here, and then that will give that a bit more support. Not the most elegant repair. I should really be using a brown thread, but to be honest, that's what I had in the machine, and we just wanted to get it done quickly as my son's going back to his home again tomorrow morning. So I think that's okay. Got that stitched in quite firmly, so I don't think there's any risk of that coming apart, and puts that boot back into good use. So a bit of a quick repair, that one, but it keeps the boot going. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing this and seeing my post machine in action, because I think probably it's the first time I've used this one in one of the films. It gets used now and again, not that often actually, but it's useful when you do need it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Okay, bye.